I'm so excited to be live using my laptop instead of my phone. So I want to welcome you. I am actually going to start doing more lives on Substack because I really do love this platform. I posted earlier in a note. I was talking about how my fear is that a lot of since TikTok is not what it used to be. It's officially for those who maybe don't use TikTok. TikTok was officially sold. Okay. So what they did was they made it where they wanted because okay, so TikTok's like parent company is ByteDance, I believe, and they're not in the United States. And so they've been trying to get that rectified for a long time, and now it is owned by someone here in the United States. And honey, let me just say, I think mine started like Saturday night, this past Saturday night. I got on there and everything was weird. And then Sunday was very weird. Like, because usually on Sunday, I'll do my Sacred Sunday. And on Sacred Sunday, I stream on, TikTok as well as YouTube and Facebook. So, have the whole multi streaming thing going on. And so when I was on TikTok, it was very weird. Like, I usually have not like a huge crowd in my lives, but only like one or two people came, and that's very unusual for a Sacred Sunday, just being real. Um, but it was just weird. So anyway, I was posting earlier on here saying that my fear is that people are going to leave TikTok and come to Substack and try to make Substack their new TikTok. And I really hope that that don't happen. I really don't because I love it here. I love the caliber of um people that are on Substack because Substack are the writers, the creatives, the journalists, the poets, the storytellers, you know, those are the people, 'cause I write, I read, I just enjoy that. And it's a vibe, right? So I really, 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 really can't overemphasize, really, really, really hope that that does not happen because I don't want the vibe here to change. But enough about that. Let's get down to business. So I'm talking about, do you need a coach? And this is something that I'm going to have a deeper discussion about that later in February because the Light Work and Life Talk podcast is coming back for season 2. New platform, new in how I'm doing it, and I am so excited, cannot wait. So it actually brand new next Monday. Yeah, next Monday on the 2nd. So next Monday on the 2nd, I'll, create the event, but we'll be live here on Substack from now on recording the podcast. So you get to experience it while we record. So, yay, so excited. But anyway, do you need a coach is the topic. Now, before I get into that, for those that have been riding with me for a while, y'all know I always have my oracle cards. So I'm going to pull us a card to kind of set the tone for this conversation. I'm going to use Soul Coaching by Denise Lynn. This is an oldie but goodie. Haven't used her in a while. So let me just what the spirit want us to know tonight when we talk about do you need a coach? Hmm. All right. All right. Ah, okay. So here's our card. Acceptance. 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 I unconditionally accept, cherish, and love myself just as I am. Love it. I unconditionally accept, cherish, and love myself just as I am. So that is the card that is going to set the tone for this conversation. So, do you need a coach? So let's talk about that because one of the things that I've been doing this since 2017, 2017, 2018. I've been doing coaching for a while now. And honestly, I never knew that I needed a coach. And until I got one, until I found one. And to this day, I still acknowledge her as my coach, my mentor, my sister. She's my girl. She is. Um So I had posed this because coaching, we'll just say, for all intents and purposes, we'll say life coach, right? Because that's the term that a lot of people are used to. And that's kind of what started the coaching thing is being called a life coach. But we've evolved and we try to go a little deeper because it's like, okay, but what part of the life, right? So you have spiritual coaches like me. You have empowerment coaches, you have business coaches, you have financial coaches, you have um wellness coaches, fitness coaches, different kind of coaches, right? So we'll just stick with life coach just to keep this simple. So first, why would you need a life coach? Well, it's a different reasons. But first, let's go back to the original question. Do you need a coach? Now, the short answer, which some people are not going to like this answer because it kind of puts the onus on you, but in short, it's up to you. It's up to you if you do. Now, let me go into what coaches do. So, my father was a teacher. He was also a coach for at the junior high he taught at. Yes, junior high, not middle school. This is old school. Okay. Junior high. Okay. Um, so he was a teacher. And he would also coach soccer and basketball. And I had talked about this in one of my Substack posts about my name. And originally, I took on the name when I first started doing life coaching. I was under the name of Coach Roz, which was to honor my dad. My dad was the original Coach Roz. Um, One day I might post a picture of my daddy so everybody can see my daddy. He's in the ancestor realm, but still. So he was a coach for sports. So when you think about a coach when it comes to a sports team, what does a coach do in a sports team? Well, first of all, the coach is in charge of the entire team. The coach is also there to help get the people who are on the team in shape to do whatever it is that they're there to do. Let's say they're playing basketball. So he's there to make sure that they are in shape, that they are preparing, that they are ready because the ultimate goal that they're striving for is to win, right? Win the local games, the championships, and all the way to the very end to the big whatever it is, right? So a coach helps to plan. They also help you strategize. A coach also is there to motivate, to hold you accountable. So all the things that a coach would do, like in sports, is what a coach would do, um, as to as far as a life coach would do. Sorry, y'all, I'm kinda playing with some of the buttons here because 'cause I'm just like, "What does this do? What does this do?" Um, so yeah. But anyway, so all those different things coaches do. They hold you accountable, they help you plan because all of it is to help you reach a goal. So if you're hiring like a personal trainer or a fitness coach, that personal trainer or fitness coach is there to help you reach whatever level of fitness that you are striving for. So like if you hire someone because you want to lose 50 pounds. Well, that coach, that wellness coach, that trainer is going to come in. They're going to do an assessment, right, to see where you are. They're going to review like your intake, ask some like additional questions about, what it is that you really want. They're also going to kind of gauge to see if you're being realistic in what you're wanting. So let's say you said, I want to lose 50 pounds in a month. That is so not realistic, babe. That is so not realistic. I mean, it can be done, but it probably won't be the most healthy way, to lose 50 pounds. So the same thing would be with me as a spiritual coach. What I do is I come in, you fill out an intake form, we sit down, we have a conversation in during the consultation. I assess what it is that you're saying that you want to accomplish. And if I feel like, you know, we could work together, I'll make the offer and say, hey, this is what I have, blah, blah, blah. And then you, in turn, will say, yes, that works for me, or no, it doesn't. So, going back to the original question, do you need a coach? So, again, it's going to be up to you. But here's the thing, though, when it comes to deciding whether or not you need a coach, I say it's not so much if you needing a coach, it's do you really want to be coached? Let me explain. So you might need it, but if your will is not to do the work, then it's all for nothing, right? So like I'll use myself as an example. Even though I am on my weight loss journey, my fitness journey, but let's just say for all intents and purposes, I say I need to lose weight. Now, most of the time when someone needs to lose weight, they don't immediately start trying to lose the weight. They might try to, but they'll fail because it's a need and not the desire for them to do it. It's just like when someone is trying to kick a habit like smoking or drinking. You can't force them. You could put that person in rehab, but if it's not in their will, if they really don't want to do it, if they're not ready mentally, emotionally, spiritually to do it, it's moot. It's moot. It's not gonna serve them at all. So it's the same thing with coaching. You might need a coach and you can see like on paper taking like inventory of where you are and where you want to be. You could say, "Oh gosh, Allison, I really need to work with you." But then my question when I push back is, do you really want this? And what are you willing to do? Meaning, are you willing to put in the work? Now, I can't tell you how many times I have had women book coaching with me and not show up. Or, example, I had a woman who signed up for one of my longer term coaching programs. It wasn't that long, but it was like 3 months, right? It was a 3-month program. And she showed up for 2 sessions. So in this particular program, you get, like, 6 and a half. The half is for, like, the very end of our journey, celebration. I give you, stuff to take with you, um, on your journey as cross the milestone, etcetera. I put together maybe a ritual for you that you can do for yourself to keep your energy and the momentum, etc. Well, we're on session 2. We finished session 2. Now, mind you, I am intuitive. I am an energy healer. So I can feel in your energy if there's some resistance. So with her, I could feel a lot of resistance. I could feel a lot of resistance. And bless her heart, she tried. She stuck with it for 2 months, 2 sessions, excuse me. And then radio silence. Nothing. No emails, no responses to any of my messages that I was sending her, no nothing. Just ghosted. And I was like, "Well, it's your dime, honey. You paid me." She paid me in full. She wasn't on a payment plan. She was not on a payment plan. She paid me in full. And she just whoop, abrupt, stop. Now, at first, I was worried about her, but my spidey senses were saying it's not an emergency. It's not. She's not ready. So, as I always do, I just, leave leave the door open if she decides to come back. And when you know, a few months later, she does. She sends me a message and she says, "Okay, I'm ready now. Is it too late for me to pick up where we left off? Or do I have to start all over again?" I was like, "Well, where you start in your journey is gonna be up to you, honey, but you paid me for those sessions. So, yeah, you those sessions that you have left, you got them because you paid me for it." Another thing is my mentor, I remember her in a group session, and she was talking about this. She was like, "You would be surprised how many times someone will book and pay for a retreat that I have, because holds retreats every single year." And, um, she used to do a lot of the international. Here lately, she's been doing a lot more local, like national, but she usually does international. So that's a pretty penny, costs a pretty penny, because you have to pay for the retreat, and then you gotta pay for your transportation to and from said retreat. So she was like, "You'll be surprised how many women will purchase a ticket to the retreat and won't show up. Won't show up. Thousands of dollars that they've spent on a retreat, and they won't even get on the plane. Won't even get on the plane." And I'm like, If I'm spending thousands of dollars, I'm getting on that plane." I don't care how scared I am. I don't care what the imposter syndrome or that inner bully says. Baby, I will be on the plane with a cocktail, okay, to get me there. But some people will do that. And she was like, it's non-refundable. So it's like, you just literally gave me all this money and you don't show up. But that's the thing. People know they need coaching, but they don't want. Or it's not that they don't want. It's they're not ready. They're not ready. They're not mentally ready, emotionally ready, spiritually ready. They're not ready. And here's the thing, reaching back to my church days. If you have faith the size of a mustard seed, and a mustard seed is really, really small. I don't know if you've ever seen a mustard seed, but baby, they little. They be tiny. Okay. If you have just enough faith to show up. Listen, I had said, if you will just show up, just come to the first session, see what I have for you in the first session, and then commit to coming to the second session. The best thing to do is not to try to think of like long term. Just take it step by step. So, the question again, do you need coaching? Again, that's up to you. All of it is up to you, whether you participate in the process fully or no. Either way, because it's it's kind of typical for people to sign up for free stuff and don't show up because you don't really have any skin in the game. But if you made the decision to make an investment, the very least that you can do for yourself, not for the coach, but for you, is show up. Show up so they can help you get to acceptance. So they can help you get to acceptance where you unconditionally accept, cherish, and love yourself just as you are. And that's what I am here to do. I'm here to help you tap into that energy, right? So that you can begin to accept who you are, who you were created to be, who you were put on this earth to be. Now, remember what I said on Sacred Sunday if you joined us. If not, go to my YouTube channel and watch the replay. Our identity is seasonal. It's seasonal. It's who you need to be in that moment. So when I'm coaching, see, now I'm giving y'all all my little secrets. Not really, but I'll give you a couple. One of the things that I typically ask a lot of my clients, especially when they are trying to figure out what they are called to do or what they need to do, my question is and always will be, who do you need to be in order to get where you're going? What version of you do you need to be right now? So, like I talked about on Sunday, how, and incidentally, I talk about it very much in my book, Starting Over at 40, My Sacred Journey of Self Discovery, Empowerment, and Self Love. This is my first book. This is my baby. My other baby is on the way. Side note, it's been delayed because of the weather. The delivery of my proof is delayed because of the weather, and I'm really bummed out about that. But I just have to surrender to the process and just let it go. But anyway, I talk about this in my book about how when my son graduated from high school, and actually it was right before, because I remember this. We were going on tours of schools because at the time he was going to go to culinary arts. So we were touring schools. And when we were doing this, I'm looking at my son. He's, tall. He had been tall, but I was like looking, I was like, I never noticed you really are tall, sir. And, he's got all this hair on his face and bass in his voice. And, he's saying ma, and I'm looking at him as we're on this tour and he's asking questions and being so like mature and grown up about it. And it just broke my heart. It broke my heart because I just did not I didn't see it coming. And I hadn't prepared for him growing up. I didn't. I always knew the day would come, but I just didn't expect it to come like it did. And so with that, I had a bit of an identity crisis. I kind of broke down because I was like, well, who am I now? What do I do now? I don't know what to do. If I'm not, you know, um, being mommy, then what am I supposed to do? And thank God I found my coach because she helped me figure some stuff out. Now, I will say to my credit, what that did give me was the opportunity for me to fall back in love with one of my first loves, which was writing. So I started a blog and it was called As I Live, I've Learned. I almost forget the name of the blog. As I've Lived, I've Learned. And it was on Blogger. Y'all remember Blogger on Google? Child. It was on Blogger. And I just started blogging and I was talking about just different aspects of my life, where I was, the things I was feeling, things that I was starting to learn about myself, my spiritual journey, my awakening, all these different things that were starting to come to the forefront. And so that kind of got the ball rolling with where I was. And my coach reading one of my blog posts, I was so excited about that, y'all. When I found out that she had actually read my blog, because I'm like, little old me? You read my blog? She did. Matter of fact, she read a few of my blog posts. And she was like, these are things that you should be teaching because you have that about you. Why aren't you doing that? Because it's clearly you. And so I set an appointment. I talked to her in a consultation and bibbity bobbity boo, I hired a coach. Now, mind you, I was broke. I was broke. Like, I think I had just got a job. And so I had bills that were piled up from me being unemployed that I needed to pay. It was a lot. It was a lot, y'all. But I saw something that I needed to take advantage of it. And so I stepped out on faith with it and started getting coaching. And from there, I pretty much stayed under her wing and learned a lot from her. Um, and thus being introduced to more like healers and coaches on that journey, that these are people that I know, that I call friend, sister, and it's just been an amazing journey. So coaching worked out for me, um, and it could also work out for you. Please don't let a bad experience with one coach turn you from hiring someone else, because not all coaches are alike. And it could be that the coach that you didn't like just wasn't in alignment with you. You know, the person that I almost hired as my coach. I adore her. I like her content. I liked so much that she had to offer because she specialized working with Black women. So, I was kind of stoked. I was ready. I had my money ready. I was going to hire her. But then I heard my coach and I was like, she is more of what I need than this person. So it's about alignment. So make sure if you're hiring someone or thinking about hiring someone, ask, does this person really align with my values, align with what I need right now, align with um where I'm trying to go? You have to be have enough because if you have just enough of clarity to understand what it is that you need or have an idea of it, and as long as you're open, that's the other part. That's the other part. Because sometimes it's not so much that you and the coach didn't align as far as what they offer, what you needed, etc. Sometimes it's you, just point blank. Sometimes it is you. Some people are just not coachable. They're not because they know everything. And what I as a coach, I'm not about to deal with a right fighter. I'm not. If you think you right, it's like if you like it, I love it. I love that for you because again, I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. I'm not here to convince. I'm not here to convert. I'm not here to do any of that. That's not my job, right? And sometimes there are some people who are just not coachable. They're not. They're not. They have their mind made up of what they want and how they're gonna get there. My question is, why the hell you hire me? Why'd you hire me? If you're not gonna do any of the things that I'm suggesting to you, if you're not gonna go by what you and I just spent like 20 minutes of this session putting something together for you to do, then why are you here? Why did you pay me? Like, I thank you for the money, but I would much rather be paid and be able to help you reach wherever it is that you're trying to go. That's what I want. I mean, you can give me money if you just want to give me some money. I will not turn down. But the thing is, if you're not coachable, if you're not teachable, you're not gonna get anything out of that experience with that coach. And you can hire the most expensive, best of the best coach. And if you're not coachable, if you don't if people can't pour into you and you receive it in a positive way, if you're constantly being negative and filling up with what if, what if, what if, what if anything? What if you have a heart attack and die in the night? Now, I'm not wishing that on you, but I mean, come on. The what if, constantly what if. Or, well, that's not how so and so does it. Well, go hire so and so because this is how we do it here. So, again, do you need coaching? It's up to you. It's up to you. All of it is up to you because listen, it's not for a coach to impart or to push their will upon you because that's not what we're here to do. We're here to guide you, to take you from one part of your journey to another part of your journey. We're with you for a season. That's it. We're with you for a season. And we're part of whatever you're needing in that season to get to the next level. So that's what I wanted to share. That's what I wanted to talk about. If you're watching the replay, leave me some comments. Let me know if anything resonate. Also, if you have any questions about coaching, about Reiki, about readings, etc., you can leave those comments too, and I will definitely answer you. And who knows, you may ask something that I might need to make a video about because that has happened. Somebody will ask me something, and I'm like, I could type this out, but let me just go on and make a video. So you never know. Just let me know. Oh, I would be remiss if I did not say this and open up this invitation. If you are looking to change your life for this year in 2026, I need you to join my new membership. I really don't like calling it a membership, but that's kind of like the best way I can describe it is a membership. But this is a year-long container. It's a sacred container, and it's fire, power, and sovereignty. And in this container, we will have lunar cycles that we follow. So full moon circles, new moon readings. Then some point in the year, because then everything flips where new moon starts to come first and then full moon, we'll flip it and start doing new moon circles and full moon readings. You'll also get journaling prompts. All of this just so you can have the community that you need to help you on this leg of your journey to co create whatever it is that you and spirit have together that you want to create. Because I'm not here to help you go off and do lone wolf things. It's for you to reconnect with who you are so that you can have the clear channels to hear from your ancestors, your spirit guides, and most of all, spirit, because that's who you're co creating with. So, if you want to join, you can click on the link and get more information, see how it feels, if it feels aligned with you. I really hope it does. Hey, Goddess Kyra, how are you? But I'm really excited about this membership, y'all. Um, I've not done something like this in a long time. And the more I look at it, the more aligned it feels. And it's like I'm very excited to present this. So between that and then my new book that's coming out, I just really hope that this delay with the weather and everything does not just like not too much because I've been waiting on pins and needles for my proof of my book, and yeah, I'm really exercising lots and lots of patience right now. It's rough. It's rough, but let me remind everybody of the card. Acceptance. I unconditionally accept, cherish, and love myself just as I am. So remember, if you're thinking about getting a coach, watch this replay. And that way you can know, do you need a coach? Again, it's up to you whether you do or you don't. All right, my loves. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. And I'll see you next time. All right. Bye for now.